Board Member Mueller?
I apologize, I just had my light on to call the question.
So we now, County Board Member Grenier.
I would like to propose the proposed 2023 levy at 4%. That we vote on that issue now.
Second. County Board, sorry. Motion by Grenier, seconded by Ortiz. Any discussion? Discussion. County Board Member Berkowitz.
Thank you, Madam Executive. The other thing that is not being considered here for our taxpayers, and that not only includes homeowners, but that includes our businesses, because in the end, their costs are impacted by the amount of property tax on the property that they're leasing from or that they have to purchase. In our township, our homes were reassessed. All of my neighbors pretty much got an increase in their equalized assessed value, EAV. Our home was a whopping 19% increase. We got a higher increase than anyone in my neighborhood. I haven't found one person that's even close. But that's a 19% increase. So I anticipate higher taxes, even if it was a 0-0 levy. So I'm not looking forward to my tax bill in 2024. But again, let's realize that there are other factors that have already been established, and these higher EAVs hit our taxpayer right off the bat. Thank you.
County Board Member Mueller.
Thank you. I've been on this board since 2018. There's only 5 other members who've been here longer than me who are currently sitting here. And what I'm going to say is probably going to upset some of them. In the last 10 years, we have repeatedly underfunded Will County government. Repeatedly. We are not serving the residents adequately. We were not elected to stick our heads in the sand and pretend there's no problems. We were elected to solve those problems. The things we are talking about providing folks here, we're talking about adequately funding our sheriff's department, our public defender, and our court system. That's just one department here, okay? That's our public safety in Will County. We have been losing employees in all of those departments because we have inadequately paid them for many years. They have gone to other counties and other areas where they are paid a more fair salary. This is leaving our county in a precarious situation. Yet every year we go through this conversation. Every year I've been here, we go through the same conversation. Every year somebody everybody's throwing rocks and talking about, tax to the max. Some folks put some things on social media and then they go, oh, that's not true. But then members of our board go and support those comments and like them and share everybody's phone numbers and say, you should call all the people on the board and let them know how you feel about this misinformation that we all just supported that's out there in the public now. So the way I see this, we really have 2 choices here. We can either adequately support the residents who need us the most in this county, all the folks we're worried about here, they need us the most. They're the ones who need these services the most. And I'm so tired of the embarrassment of not being able to serve them. And for our staff who has to work on this for hours, they have been putting together this budget since July. And to insinuate that they didn't give it adequate time or they didn't, ask for things that were appropriate is insulting. And I am absolutely tired of hearing this board do that. So, I will be supporting the 4% because it is about time we adequately fund the county and its services. Thank you.
County Board Member Gallo.
Thank you. I did just want to state some facts. Just because you can tax up to 5% or CPI, whichever is less, doesn't mean that you should. Just because the county board has not always taxed to that max, doesn't mean we haven't funded county government. I continuously hear that we don't pay our employees enough. You heard the number of vacation holidays that our employees get. They get a minimum of 2 weeks vacation. They get sick time. They get personal time. And a lot of this stuff rolls on and they pay out at the end. In addition to that, you will always lose employees to somewhere else. Every business does, every government does, because somebody can pay better, or maybe somebody wants to live in a colder climate because they like snow or a warmer climate. Those are all facts. You're never going to get over that. You're never going to stop somebody from moving. What we do need to understand is the CPI that the county government uses does not include energy and fuel cost increases or grocery increases. So when you want to talk about a senior citizen living in their home, and it's not going to cost them more when they go to the grocery store, it costs more, when you put gas in the car, it costs more. Those aren't part of CPI. They're not. That's an addition to what's here in CPI. While we continue also to make the statement that everyone's taxes will go about $58 and we can all afford it because it's just a trip to Starbucks or McDonald's or wherever you go, Taco Bell, wherever everyone's going. That might be for one home. That's not for everybody's homes. The tax bill will go up accordingly across to where you live and what your multiplier is in your area. So that varies everywhere that you go. In addition to that, we need to also, I'd like to point out that our comments made about who supported last year's tax levy is supporting a fair tax levy. And there were 2 Democrats that did that. They're both not here anymore. There was Rachel Ventura and Saul Gansberg. Those are the only 2. If you don't believe me, look up the votes from the meeting minutes. So everyone here is hearing mixed messages. I think people need to go out and do their research and decide which side of the aisle is being honest with that. And just because something is posted wrong out there, everyone posts something wrong in social media from time to time. But we cannot deny the fact that this board is typically split. We cannot deny the fact that unfortunately we have the county executive form of government, and the county executive splits the votes for the tie. Because you know what that does? It doesn't make us compromise at all. The Republicans support this, the Democrats support that. If the executive is a Democrat, they vote with the Democrats. If it would be a Republican, they vote with the Republican. How is that good government for the people? It's horrible government for the people because there is no compromise. I can tell you during this time, I'm the chair of the county board, and I don't know who reached out from the other side to say, hey, what can we do to make this work? I made phone calls. But like I said before, you got to ask yourself, why does the person who's the finance staff person for the county board have a different thing to say than the finance staff person from the county executive? It's where your bread is buttered.
Wow.
So I'm just going to interject here before you say I can't. Yes, I can. I would prefer not to attack any of our staff members.
I'm not attacking anybody.
I will. I'm just saying, I don't think our either of our finance chairs, yours or ours, want to be brought in the mix. They're doing a job. Yeah, I mean, you just said it where their bread is buttered. One works for you, one works for the county. I'd like to think that they're both.
I wasn't referring to them on that statement. I was referring to the elected officials in the room where their bread is buttered, not the staff. I understand where the finance person works for the county board, and I understand where the finance person works for your department. I know both of them. I like them both.
I just want to make sure
I wasn't making that statement towards our staff. Thank you for making it clear. Thank you.
County Board Member Butler.
Thank you. So, it is a trying time for most people. We have a lot of inflation and an uncertain future. So, of course, as fiscal conservatives and having a lot of people that we represent, they want lower taxes, and I get it. But at the same time, we do have services that need to be taken care of. So, I would move to amend the motion to 2.5%.
Second.
Yeah, we can do a lot of them. So now we have an amendment. We have a motion to move it to 2.5 and a second by O'Gala. So do me a favor, if you're going to put them off, or is there
Previous roll.
Second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. I don't know. That was for 2.5. So we're moving on, now we're going back to the original with County Board Member Trenier with the original resolution. So we're going to continue discussion with that. We have we have about 5 or 6 more. County Board Diaz.